and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joanna Diana, and it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. October has been really busy for me. I'm very grateful for that. It probably has been busy for you as well. I'm sorry that, the Tuesday and Friday thing kind of didn't work out on my end, but I'm gonna really try to stick to a better posting schedule because I know that you guys are liking my videos and I get super excited about that. So if you've subscribed, thank you. If you've watched, thank you. If you've commented, thank you. And if you follow me on IG, thank you again. This is a more laid back video. There's no B-roll or anything like that. It's more of a chit chat video. I'm gonna be talking about all the symptoms that I felt, which kind of indicated that I was pregnant before actually testing positive. And I think a lot of women have a feeling that they may be pregnant due to different symptoms. So I want to go through my symptoms because some of them were like super odd. And then obviously when I was watching other YouTubers' content regarding the same topic, I realized that some of them actually shared these weird symptoms, and obviously you'll realize what they are once I get into it. But there's a lot of things that come with pregnancy, and these are some of the cues that might make you go like, wait a second, maybe I should take a pregnancy test. The first thing for me that kind of made me think, hey, I could be pregnant, was the increase in my cervical mucus. And this could easily be a symptom that is mistaken days leading up to your period or right before your period is about to hit you. But I knew that this does happen, around my period time, but I just had a feeling because it was like a big increase, something was a little bit off. So that was like one of the first things. And then the second thing that happened that kind of made me go, oh, maybe you should take it into consideration, was the fact that sex feels different. Sex feels different. And I remember there was one night before I found out I was pregnant. I think it was like maybe like a week and a half before actually testing. And I was with my fiance Joel and we were doing the deed, and I just remember it felt really different, but it felt different in a very specific way, to the point where I was trying to connect the dots and I was like, when did it feel this way? It didn't hurt, but it felt uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if I can really put it into words. It just felt different. And it immediately shot me back to like the memory that I was being connected to, and it was when I was pregnant with Noah, and that's how sex used to feel when I was pregnant with Noah. And that's when it just kind of hit me, and I was like, oh my God, no way. But obviously, like, I didn't say nothing like in the middle of it because that would be like super awkward. Like, no, I just stored it in the back of my mind and just continued on for days to come. And I thought about it and then, saw it as a possibility. And then obviously when I tested, I was like, yes, see, your intuition is always right. The third thing that made me think I'm pregnant was spotting. And again, spotting, like the increase in your cervical mucus, can be very easily mistaken for the upcoming period that you're about to have, right? But for me, in my case, I never really had spotting before periods because like my periods, as I had mentioned in my previous videos, had always been so irregular. And so I would never really know when they would hit, but when they would hit, oh, it was like she would hit hard. You know what I mean? Like, it was not like a little present here and a little present there. No, it was like boom, bam, done. It's the real deal. So when I started to spot, I was like, there's another sign. Interesting. Is it a period coming or is it a baby? I don't know, but I have a feeling it's a baby. Because I was like, increased cervical mucus, spotting, sex feels really uncomfortable. What's next? So all these signs started to happen to me over like a 2-week span. I would say, yeah, because my period was truly late, about 10 days. I think that's what I mentioned in the last video. Yeah, 10 days. And So I was like waiting for it and I was like tracking it, and these signs I was paying attention to, like, you know, intensely over like a 2-week span. So even, I guess, before my period was late, like even before my period was even due. And actually a lot of these signs are signs of like implantation. So it was completely normal. The fourth thing that led me to believe that I'm pregnant, which could have easily been mistaken for the fact that it was very hot in that period of time, middle of July, 40 something degree weather, extremely humid. I can't even really eat anything because it's that hot. Am I recording? Like, how funny it would be if this wasn't recording the whole time. I thought it wasn't recording there for a second. Can we just talk about this bug for a second, okay? This is by no means personalized to me. I mean, it says, Dad, you're awesome. But I don't have my own personalized mom cup. This was like given to him really randomly, but I really like this cup just because of the size of it. So don't mind me. I use it just because it's a big cup. It's probably the biggest cup I have in my cupboard that I can actually use for teas. And right now is tea season. So anyways, moving on. The fourth sign that led me to believe that I could be pregnant was diarrhea. And I know that's a little bit TMI, but girls, women, females, moms, it does happen. It is a true sign and symptom of early pregnancy. But I was confused about it a little bit because diarrhea can also happen when you have like heat stroke or you're really hot. And at the time when I was finding out that I'm pregnant, it was July, middle of July in Cyprus, and it was like scorching hot, 40 something degree weather, super humid, couldn't eat, felt extremely tired, felt nauseous, but I thought it was from the heat as well. So it was a little bit confusing. So I wasn't sure if I'm gonna add that to the list or if I should just consider that as part of like how my body was reacting to the weather. It's really uncomfortable. And I remember, I think it was like a week and a half leading up to actually me testing positive. I was on the bloody toilet for like 3 times a day or something like that. It was not fun. It was not fun. It was exactly what you would not want to have. Okay, so here's another common symptom, sign that you could be pregnant. Frequent urination. This is a very typical one. Everyone knows about it. Majority of mothers have experienced it with their first or second, thirds, whatever. It happens for almost everybody. Why does frequent urination happen? It's because you're growing something inside your stomach, inside your body, and it's starting to push on different organs and your bladder's starting to fill up quicker. So when I started to frequently urinate, I was like, oh, another sign. I could be pregnant. And frequent urination only gets better with time over the 40-week span of pregnancy, you know, the fetal gestation. Right now, I am 20 weeks pregnant, and I can tell you that I cannot even go for an uninterrupted 30-minute walk with Noah just around the neighborhood without having to find a bush that I can squat in so I can pee, because the baby is pushing. The baby's pushing on things. And I try to avoid drinking water if I'm on walks. I try to avoid drinking liquids before I leave the house. And let's not even talk about going to bed, because before I go to bed, at just 20 weeks pregnant, which means I'm literally the halfway mark, I need to use the bathroom like 5 to 6 times. And what's frustrating is a lot of the times when you're pregnant and you're going through this frequent urination symptom, you feel like you have to pee a gallon, but actually you don't. When you go sit on the toilet, it's like 2 drops. And it's literally the most frustrating thing, because you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna pee myself, I'm gonna pee myself, I'm gonna pee myself. You need to find the quickest toilet. Whenever I enter a store, I always need to know where the toilet is just in case I need to go. And then when I go, it's like 2 drops, maybe 1. And it's frustrating. It's annoying. It's annoying because it's like I feel like I spent half my day on the toilet. Okay, so another very typical sign of pregnancy or your hormones changing is acne, and I've experienced that with both pregnancies. But again, acne can easily be mistaken for your period coming. You see how many signs that come with early pregnancy could easily be mistaken for just your period coming. Our bodies, I'm not even joking, are so confusing. Like, we're so complex. Thank you, God, for making women so beautifully complex, but so confusing at the same time. If men think we're confusing, how the hell do you think we feel actually living in our bodies, dealing with ourselves? I mean, it's a piece of work. Like, we are a piece of work. Girls, moms, females, always treat yourself, because we are a work of art. I mean, just think about it, how our bodies work. It's insane. So when I was breaking out for early pregnancy, the breakouts were a lot deeper and more painful than breakouts I would have for my period coming. So it would be a lot more cystic like acne as I used to have in the past. So that was like a little bit of a red flag for me, you know, like, oh, why am I breaking out all of a sudden? The next sign is unexplainable mood swings. Now, again, this could easily be mistaken for the times when you are actually expecting your period, because you could be PMSing, and a lot of women PMS, and our hormones are like really fluctuating around the time that our period comes, right? So again, it could be very, very misleading. But I remember that like the 2 weeks leading up to me actually testing positive, my mood was all over the place. I was upset, I was happy, I was like full of energy, I felt really creative, like, and it would just go from like if this was like a meter, and then here was like happy, and here it was sad, and then here in the middle would be like, I don't know, something completely different. It'd literally be like, it would always like go up and down, but like really drastically. And that's really hard to deal with, because it's hard to deal with for yourself as a person, because like you almost don't know how to control yourself, just because your mood's changing so quickly, and you almost don't understand why those changes are happening and why you almost feel like you have no control over your body. I think I mentioned in another video that when you're pregnant and you're going through first trimester and you're feeling depressed or upset or down, even though you have like literally no reason to, you almost feel like your body's been hijacked by something, right? So that's kind of how I was already starting to feel, and that was very odd, because normally, even if you're feeling down or whatnot, you would be able to somehow have some control over your emotions to an extent. And I felt like I didn't. So that was very, very odd. And it's, as I said, it's difficult for you as the person who's going through that, but it's also difficult for the outsiders. So like the people you live with in the house, your children, your husband, your friends, whoever you're surrounded by, because to them, it can just come like so sudden, and they may not understand why like half an hour ago you were happy, and then today, or like now 45 minutes later, you are sad or completely rambunctious or super energetic, or, you know, something like that. So it can be very confusing. But again, as I said, it can be mistaken for PMS very easily, because a lot of women PMS right before their period. So our body can be very misleading. I'm sorry, ladies, but it's true. Oh my God, you guys are so cute. They came home and they're literally staring at me outside my office window. Okay, you guys can come inside if you want. I'm almost done. Okay, so the next two signs that I'm going to talk about are like completely weird, and I thought that they don't really happen to anybody. I wasn't even like really thinking that they could be related to early pregnancy, but as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, after watching other videos of the same kind of other YouTubers and hearing them say that this happened to them, I'm just like, oh, maybe it can be considered like a sign of early pregnancy. So one of them is runny nose in the morning. Like extremely runny nose in the morning, to the point where you're thinking, oh my God, I have a cold, I must be sick or something, I'm coming down with something. And I don't know the exact scientific explanation for that, but I vaguely remember from my research, from what I was reading, that it's due to the fact that there is an increase of mucus in your body overall, and that's why it's excreting through your nose, and that's why it's coming out that way. So yeah, I was having, again, like 2 weeks before I tested positive, I was having a really like runny nose every single morning that would last up until like, I don't know, midday, and then it would just stop, and then it would start again the next day. So that was weird, because I was like, am I sick? I don't know, because I had no other like cold-like symptoms, you know, where your head would hurt or you'd have like, you know, fever or anything like that. So very weird one. I think this one is like the weirdest one. The only other person I've heard talk about this on YouTube is Delilah from Loki's Life, and she mentioned it in her video. And I remember watching her video right around the time when I was finding out I was pregnant, but I didn't have a YouTube channel yet. The symptom is your eye twitching, and it's super weird because you're thinking, what the heck does that even have to do with pregnancy? Like, what does it have to do with pregnancy? But yeah, my eye was twitching and has been twitching and continues to twitch a lot. And it just gets really annoying at one point where I just feel like I constantly have to scratch it. It feels like my heart's like pulsating in my eyelid. And I really don't know how to link it to that. I mean, I'm sure you could like do your own research, and I'm sure there's like some sort of explanation connecting it to whatever is happening hormonally in your body, but I really don't know why the eye is twitching. So yeah, I don't know, it was weird. Other really common signs that I actually felt as well was obviously implantation cramping, but again, like 90% of the signs in this video that I'm talking about could easily be mistaken for your period. So implantation cramping feels not as intense as period cramping, but it's like the cramps that you may get like a few days leading up to your period, but not the cramps that you get on the day that your period actually hits you. So like, you know, preparation cramps. They're not as painful, but they are there. For me, they were very mild. And for me, they happened around 5 days before my period was due, and then they continued to happen, and they continued to happen when my period was due, and then my period didn't come, and then they kind of just stopped. So yeah, I thought that, okay, you know, I'm cramping, it could be my period coming, let's wait and see. And then obviously my period didn't come. I had like, I think cramping for another maybe 1 or 2 days, and then it just kind of stopped. And then like a week passed, or not even a week, like maybe another 5 days passed until I actually tested positive. Mild nausea and fatigue, again, is a very common sign of early pregnancy. It can happen to a lot of women, and it may not happen to you at all. If you are feeling that as you are expecting your period, there could be a question mark, red flag there that you may be pregnant and you should maybe test to see. But again, mild nausea and fatigue could also be associated in my case to the heat that I was experiencing, because at the time it was very, very hot, middle of July. So again, it was a sign that kind of left me a little bit confused. And keep in mind the nausea. Don't mind the noise, the boys are back. Keep in mind the nausea that I was experiencing at that very, very early stage of pregnancy, which we're talking about like 3.5, 4 weeks. Here. My son is here. Hello, Noah. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everyone. Can you sit on mommy's lap so I can finish my video? Okay. Right. Oh, he just spilled my tea. It's okay, we'll wipe it after. Let's just finish this video. Okay. Motherhood. Nausea in the very early stages of pregnancy is not that bad. So for me, it just would come and go. Like, I would maybe feel it at different times of the day, but it was never like really intense where I would be like, oh my God, I feel so sick, I can't do anything. It would like come in waves, but it would not be so bad. It would be like acceptable. So yeah. Okay, ladies, and the last sign that everybody knows about, that is the biggest red flag that you may be pregnant. What's that? A book? It's in Hungarian, I can't read it. It's in Hungarian, okay. Okay, but if you bring me an English book after I finish my video, I can read it with you. As I was saying, the last sign, which is the biggest red flag that you may in fact be pregnant if you're really, really late for it, and what I mean by really, 10 days is quite late in my opinion. is your missed period. Your missed period is probably the biggest sign that you could be pregnant, right? This is the most commonly occurring sign. I think it occurs in every woman when they are pregnant, or almost every woman. Actually, I've heard of women who have had their period even while they were pregnant, which is quite odd, but it does happen. Look, loads of things happen. Everybody's different. Every body functions differently. Every pregnancy is different. But yeah, a missed period, I think, is a big red flag that you should test because you may be pregnant. But sometimes a missed period can also be linked to a lack of proper nutrients in your body, a lack of vitamins, stress, lack of proper nutrition. So again, the body is very, yes honey. So the body is very complex. And again, a missed period doesn't always mean pregnancy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's video. I know that it wasn't that exciting, but I really wanted to share these like early signs of pregnancy that I experienced because I know that a lot of them could be quite common. I really wanted to share my experience. Some of them are weird. Leave a comment down below and let me know of any weird pregnancy symptoms that you've had or weird pregnancy cravings that you've had. Share your stories. I'm always really excited to hear it. Thank you. What are you doing? And I guess until, okay. Wait. And I guess until next time, in the next video, do you want to tell them what we're going to do in the next video? What are we doing in the next video? What are we doing in the next video? We are going to reveal if you're having a brother or sister. The next video is going to be our official gender reveal video. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm having a girl or a boy. If you want to also follow me on Instagram, I'll leave the link down below in the description box. Until next time, lovelies, this kid doesn't want to sit still anymore and I think he needs me to entertain him. Take care, lovelies. Have a good one.